Good day, viewers. Walter here. I'm going to make a little dump run here today. Nothing exciting really to talk about, but I wanted to do a little bit of a vlog. We have had a steady downpour of rain for several days. I'd say close to a week now, so I haven't been outside to make any videos. Everything is a soggy mess out here. Spent a lot of time this week sitting on my hind end, streaming YouTube, catching up on some of my viewers' videos. Probably too much wind noise because I got the window down in this old pickup truck of mine. I slept in kind of late today. When I got up and started streaming some YouTube. Watched old Texas Vikings' latest video on his recumbent bicycle that he made. It's quite a project he had going with that. Oh, Wally's Place 66 working on another chainsaw. Who else did I watch? I know there'll be plenty of people that I'll forget if I start trying to name them all. George the Shade Tree Fix-It Man did a video talking about the differential on a tiller, using that on his Goofy car, which is a good idea. He's got a couple of video, and he mentioned an old engine in the brake and straighten engine in his video today. I've got 4 or 5 brake and straighten engines out there in the backyard that weren't running, still attached to old lawnmowers. There's good engines on every one of them mowers I got out there. If I had a little bit of gumption, I'd get out there and take them engines off and store them somewhere. Small engines have got downright expensive. Speaking of small engines, about the first small engine I ever worked on was when I just got out of small engine repair school in the Navy. They had an old P60 fire pump, which was a little small engine, and it would pump 60 gallons of water a minute. You put a suction hose up to it, drop it in the water, and suck water up, hook a fire hose to it, pump 60 gallons a minute, and put fires out. Anyway, that old P60 pump hadn't ran in years. It was stored below decks on the ship, and I'm going to rebuild this thing. I worked on that thing for a week, I know, in my spare time in my shop I had on the ship. I cranked that thing up and got it running like a champ. After that, I kind of was expected to fix all their small engines. They had a outboard engine on a little small, wasn't no bigger than a rowboat. We never did put the motor whaleboat in the water very much. Motor whaleboat to haul 15, 20 guys. But You could haul 2 or 3 people on that little boat, and I'd run the captain to shore in various islands we stopped at. Once in the middle of the bay in Curacao, captain wanted to go visit a British Navy ship that was harbored, anchored not too far away in the harbor. I put that thing in the water and took him across there. The British Navy, they allow them so much to drink each day. So they had their little cocktails while I floated around out there in the boat waiting for the captain to come back. Let me go out and get this garbage. Hey, how's it going? Anyway, what brought the subject up to mind was small engines, and I was the only one that could run that little outboard engine. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with it. There was something wrong with the throttle cable linkage or something, and I had figured out how to wire it in a certain position and the engine would run pretty good. Didn't have a whole lot of knowledge on small engines with boats, but I got that thing running pretty good. That day I kept the boat in the water, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. We got back right at dark to our ship. But about a week later, it was some kind of party ashore on this little island. The captain said people could go on Liberty, could go ashore, and I haul people back and forth all day, but I had the duty. I ran quite a few people ashore, officers and men alike, to go to the little nightclub on this island. But I had the duty. I had to stay right there by the boat. I was the only one that could run this thing, remember? And I probably shouldn't tell this story on myself, but I guess I will. Anyway, I wanted something to drink. I figured, what the heck, they're all drunk. They won't know the difference anyway. Somebody had a bottle of rum, and I drank a bunch of rum while I was sitting there waiting. Well, next thing I know, I done had too much to drink. I couldn't start that boat with 4 hands, let alone 2. I was lucky I could sit up on that boat. They got back and found out their only boat operator was drunk. They had to row all the way back to the ship. I couldn't run the boat. And I won't go into no great details, but they had a heck of a time getting me up the ladder to get on this ship. Was on the USS Carman. We had some good times on this ship. Had a good captain too. Anybody else would have put old Pwalpar on report, but he didn't. But he wasn't real happy with me. Well, the traffic is really bad out here today. When we first moved to this neighborhood back in '83, this was a 2-lane road right here. And it had very little traffic on it. But they 4-laned it and straight out to the expressway on I-75. Just about everybody uses this road now. I haven't forgot I wanted to do my oil transfer pump. I'll get around to that. I just haven't felt like doing anything here lately in the rain. Hopefully the background noise on this been a quick little trip to the dump. Appreciate you riding along with me today. Don't expect I'll get a whole lot of views out of this vlog I'm producing today, but at least I got out and made a little bit of a video. Thanks for tuning in. This is Pwalpar wishing everybody well.